June 6, 1944. Before dawn, thousands of American soldiers climb down rope ladders into small landing craft. Ahead of them lies a heavily defended French beach known by a code name, Omaha. By the end of the day, it will be one of the bloodiest battles the United States has ever fought. Welcome to Historials X, where we bring you real, in-depth stories of war and history. Today, we go hour by hour through Omaha Beach on D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion in history, and see how a mission that almost failed turned into a turning point of World War II. By 1944, Nazi Germany still controlled most of Western Europe. The Soviet Union was fighting in the east, but Britain and the United States knew they had to open a western front. The plan was Operation Overlord: land Allied troops on the beaches of Normandy, in northern France, and push inland. 5 beaches got code names: Utah and Omaha for the Americans, Gold and Sword for the British, and Juno for the Canadians. Omaha, stretching about 10 kilometers, was assigned to the U.S. 1st and 29th Infantry Divisions. Intelligence suggested resistance would be strong but manageable. They were wrong. The Germans had turned the French coast into what they called the Atlantic Wall, a network of bunkers, gun emplacements, barbed wire, mines, and obstacles. At Omaha, high bluffs overlooked the sand. German units, including elements of the veteran 352nd Infantry Division, held dug-in positions with machine guns, artillery, and mortar. Concrete bunkers commanded wide fields of fire across the beach. Between the sea and the cliffs lay open sand, broken only by shallow dunes and scattered obstacles like wooden stakes, metal, hedgehogs, and mines. For the attackers, there would be almost no cover. In the early hours of June 6th, American paratroopers jumped inland to seize key roads and bridges. Out at sea, thousands of ships gathered. Battleships, cruisers, destroyer transports, and landing craft. Before dawn, naval guns opened fire on the coast. Allied planners hoped this bombardment would destroy many German positions. At the same time, bombers attacked defenses behind the beach. But at Omaha, much of this fire fell too far inland. Many German bunkers and machine gun nests survived largely intact. As first light approached, American troops in heavy gear climbed down into small landing craft. The seas were rough. Some men were seasick or soaked. Tanks designed to swim ashore, the DD tanks, were launched too far out, and many sank in the waves. The soldiers were about to face one of the harshest tests of their lives. Around 6:30 a.m., the first assault waves hit Omaha Beach. Immediately, they came under intense fire. Problems hit from every direction. Strong currents pushed landing craft off target, mixing units. Many tanks never reached shore, leaving the infantry exposed. Engineers tasked with clearing obstacles were killed or pinned down. Radios and equipment were lost in the surf. As ramps dropped, some troops were struck before they could even step onto the sand. Others jumped into deep water, weighed down by packs and weapons, and struggled to reach shore. Those who made it to the beach found themselves in a nightmare, bullets snapping past. Explosions throwing sand and smoke into the air, comrades falling around them, attempts to move forward stalled. Some men hugged the shingle bank at the top of the beach, too exposed to move, yet too afraid to stand. From the bluffs, German machine gunners and riflemen fired into the crowded shoreline. For hours, it seemed possible that Omaha might be a complete failure. Despite the chaos, small groups of soldiers began to act on their own initiative. When formal plans collapsed, improvisation took over. Officers and sergeants gathered scattered men, sometimes from different units, and led them toward gaps in the defenses. Engineers crawled forward to blow paths through wire and obstacles. Some soldiers used the smoke from burning vehicles as cover to move. Naval gunfire support became more accurate. Destroyers sailed dangerously close to shore, firing directly at visible German positions on the bluffs. By late morning, scattered American groups had reached the base of the cliffs. Using explosives, bayonets, and sheer determination, they climbed steep slopes and gullies, attacking bunkers from the flanks and rear. Once a few key strongpoints were knocked out, the defensive line began to crack. By afternoon, more troops were pushing off the beach, and the fear of being pushed back into the sea slowly faded. The price of Omaha was terrible. Estimates vary, but U.S. forces suffered around 2,000 to 3,000 casualties killed, wounded, or missing in a single day at this one beach. And yet by the evening of June 6th, a fragile but real foothold existed. American forces had linked up with landings from Utah Beach farther west. British and Canadian forces were also ashore on their beaches, though not all objectives for D-Day had been achieved. Still, the essential goal was met, a continuous Allied front line on the coast of Normandy. Over the next days and weeks, more men, tanks, and supplies would pour in through these beachheads, turning them into a launching pad for the liberation of France and Western Europe. Omaha, the near disaster, had become part of the success story of D-Day. Today, Omaha Beach looks peaceful, clean sand, gentle waves, green fields beyond. But cemeteries nearby hold thousands of white crosses and stars of David, marking the graves of those who never left. The story of Omaha is not just about tactics and strategy. It is about ordinary young men, many, barely out of their teens, stepping into one of the most dangerous places on earth because they were ordered to and because they believed in different ways that it mattered. Omaha Beach was almost a failure, but persistence, improvisation, and sacrifice turned it into a crucial part of D-Day's success. For more real war stories from the USA, UK, and France, subscribe to Historals X, turn on notifications, and tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching.